So lately, I've been noticing people talk a lot about like the increase in price for like fast food. They've been noticing that like it's cheaper for them to like just go to the grocery store, buy some groceries, versus trying to go out and get a quick meal. And it used to be a thing where you can go out and get you a quick little meal, a quick little uh, value meal from from a fast food joint and going home, and it was convenient. I remember the value menu at McDonald's, and it was like everything was literally $8. This was back when like the big and tasty was still around, and the McWraps and the McDouble was $1. The McChicken was $1. The value fry was $1. A value drink was $1. I think any of their drink sizes for a little while was like $1. Um, yeah, I think the apple pie was on there, the side salad. So you were able to go up there with like $5 and maybe 30, 40 cents, get you five items off the value menu. That is no longer a thing nowadays. I want to say, so right now on their app, if you go to McDonald's app, scroll down to the dollar menu, just the one, two, and $3 menu, and you take a look at their menu. So let's say I want five McChickens. Right now on their website or on their app, I'm looking at $9.95 if I want to get five of those. But like I said, some years back, you were able to get, you know, all five of those for like 5.30, 5.40. And that's on the lower end. If I wanted five McDoubles, looking at $13.45 for the same exact sandwiches that I was able to get five of years ago for $5. Now it's 13. I'm trying to figure out why does a four-piece chicken nugget cost more than a McDouble and cost more than a McChicken. If I wanted a 20-piece nugget, we're looking at $13.95. I'm so confused by the fries. If I got a large French fries, $3.79. But if I just got a basket of fries, I want to say it's less than a large. These prices are so confusing and so back and forth. But the point is, fast food isn't as convenient as it once was so far as pricing. Right now, we got employees that work at these fast food places, and they are worked. They be working the hell out of these kids, and so higher wages was something that was a goal. It was a goal for people. I remember $8, $9 was like the standard for a long time. Like that was just it. Now you got people that's starting off 13, 14, 15 an hour at these fast food joints. And it's great for the employees who get to actually make like a livable wage, but it's just like it sucks because everything else has to be accommodated for. Everything else has to be accounted for. And so with that, the prices will increase. The rates that certain things were going for yesterday, you can't go for it now. Somebody mentioned that they had went to Hardee's and they wanted to order something, and it was way more expensive than what they remembered. And so it's been a while since I had been to a fast food place. So I went and I stopped by Hardee's just to see what these prices were looking like. For one of their sandwiches, it was like a ultimate something kind of a burger. I don't know if it was like a new one that they were promoting, but the burger was like $11. And so it would have end up being like 12, close to 13 after tax. And that was without drink, that was without fry. It was just a sandwich. And I was just like, oh, it ain't got it looks like I went to Taco Bell, was looking at some of their prices. They got like a little value menu thing where it's like everything is between $2 to $3. Um and so theirs are pretty decent. McDonald's kind of got something similar, but just way less variety. And then on top of that, their quality, from what I'm hearing, is not really, not really there anymore. You know, somebody said that they had changed their buns, or changed, the quality of some of their products, formulations. And I'm just like, that's where we're at. Cost of everything is going up. People are trying to get paid more. And it's throwing everything out of whack. My thoughts on this was that it's not something that's organically happening. I don't believe in a lot of organic things happening nowadays at all. It's rare where a situation occurs and I'm just like, whoa, that was a naturally occurring event. Like, I think a lot of this stuff is slowly drawn out and planned out and paced. And so when I started noticing that these fast food places was doing these prices the way that they were doing them, it made me think of this. This here is Agenda 2030. I've mentioned this in a few old videos of mine, but a lot of those videos just don't really get a lot of views like that. These are some of the sustainable development goals that they have in mind. These goals are to address all of the issues that we've been noticing happening over the years, over the decades, worldwide. One of the goals that really caught my attention so far as everything that's going on, well, actually two, which is zero hunger, which is number 2, and responsible consumption and production. Those two caught my attention. To be able to address hunger worldwide and drop it to zero hunger, it doesn't mean that they're going to open up access for everybody to just have food and consume food at whatever pace they want. That people will have access to food, but the first thing that goes through my mind is they'll ration out portions. Everybody will have a portion or a ration, or this is this is what you're able to consume in order to address hunger and solve it by zero hunger. To me, it's a really broad and really sharp statement, a sharp solution. And something like that requires a lot of control, a lot of privacy being invaded, space being invaded, and consumption being controlled. The other goal was responsible consumption as well as production. When it comes to fast food, there's no restrictions on what you can consume. Right now, if you got the money, you can go and consume as much food, fast food, restaurant food, groceries that you want. There's no real restriction. The only time we see strict restrictions really pop up is when everyone is trying to do it, and it decreases the amount of supply. And so we saw it where you go into meat markets during the height of the pandemic, you go into meat markets or something like that, and like they slam the meat section because everybody wanted to stock up all at once, and everybody was consuming at a higher rate out of fear of this won't be available, in the near future. And so with seeing fast food and the prices being increased the way that they are, I think there may be an issue with sustainability. I think that these companies realize we're not able to sustain the amount of chicken that everybody is consuming, the amount of burgers and beef, because we as Americans, we consume. You go to any buffet, we're scarfing down food, wasting food. It's so much that goes into creating the meals that we just kind of like waste. And we consume a lot. Wake up in the morning, You say, you know what, I'm a little hungry. I wouldn't mind a egg McMuffin and, a coffee with some milk. And we don't realize what goes into just being able to produce those two items. Some milk and some eggs. Throw some cheese on there for me. Like we don't pay attention to what all goes into that. I mean, bacon. I can never have too much bacon, or I can put bacon, and so we just consume. We just consume. We wake up, we hungry. I want some bacon, eggs, and cheese. I want some chicken breasts. We consume, and so these companies and these farms and things like that, these organizations aren't really able to keep up with that level of consumption. And they're noticing that in the near future, it's going to be a problem. So you're starting to see way more of a push for lab created meats. You're starting to see way more of a push for like veganism and stuff like that. And veganism is on the rise, but not because veganism is winning or because veganism is good or anything like that. The reason it's on the rise is because the traditional sense of farming meat is getting harder. It takes so much water, it takes so much grain and so much product just to maintain livestock. You know what I mean? And to produce livestock, and it takes so much to do that. And we just knocking it down. All we know is I want meat. I can't go without my meat. I can't go without my cheese. That's all we know. We don't care about the logistics. We don't care about what it takes. We don't care about the process in which it takes to. I don't care about any of that. I just want the meat, which sounds cool, except when you have millions and millions and millions and millions of other people saying and doing the same thing you're doing every morning, every afternoon, and every evening. I don't care. I just want the meat. I just want the cheese. I just want the dairy. I don't care about none of that. I just want it. So you got millions of people saying and doing the same thing, and that's just one day. That's just a day. That's just Monday. That's just one. We're not talking about it's been months, years. We're not talking about it's been 5 years or a decade. That was just one day. That's one example for 24 hours. And we've been doing that daily. And then got the nerve to increase the amount that we've been doing daily. And so it's creating issues. And so that's where I believe this responsible consumption and production is going to come into place. I believe on the production side, they're going to start really rolling out lab created artificial meats on a larger scale, on a much more larger and prominent scale. I believe they've already been doing it. You go to the store and get Tyson's chicken or whatever, these dino nuggets. There's no way that stuff is just like, oh, this is 100% real. No, it's not. You probably got toilet paper mixed in there. Ain't no telling what's in that stuff. But majority of it probably is, legit meat. But we don't know how long they've been rolling this stuff out. You go to Taco Bell and order the beef or chicken, you don't know what this stuff made of. We out here just trusting and believing that they love us this much, but they just giving us real meat on a tortilla. It's just like sometimes we gotta bag up and realize, like, all right, this is still a business, and business gotta make sense. And if there's alternatives out there that cost less, take less, and has to be processed less than traditional farming, they may go that way. Especially if you can create something that has a much longer shelf life and you don't have to have so many, business standpoint, I can see companies going that direction. And so Instead of telling people you can only eat this much, instead of telling people you can't have that, why not just create a situation where people will opt out of it on their own? Increase the prices in fast food to where people say, you know what, maybe I don't need to eat out. Maybe I should go to the grocery store and purchase more groceries and do my cooking that way. So you're not necessarily controlling anybody and telling them what they can and can't do, creating, a little bit of an uproar, but more so making this option look less attractive and making this option look a bit more attractive, to where it looks and it sounds like it's their idea, but whole time it's not. And that's what I think is happening slowly with this responsible consumption and production, this zero hunger. All these things sound amazing on paper, but these things require a strong hand. It requires a strong hand. It's going to require strong leadership in order to enforce. It's going to require a lot of people to be on board all at once, and that's what crossed my mind when I started hearing that, and I was just like, that's what this sounds like. Create an issue, create a problem, and make it seem like it's more so our idea versus somebody being forced to consume less, being forced to like I said, consume less, because it just seemed like we are just a way ahead of the game in regards to how much we're consuming, how much we're taking in, how much we're putting in. Is it for this video? Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.